Hello and welcome to Not a Proper Classic. No actual car fiddling today because we've got hopefully the start of a little bit of a project here, which is also going to be a hint to possibly what my next car is going to be, because it will need one of these. Explaining what it is I'm hoping to make a head-up display speedo. So we've got two. There's this one here, which we got for Big Willie when his speedo wasn't working, but now is, so that's not needed. And then we've also got, this one was a newer purchase, a much smaller one, so you can tell the size difference between those two. And the reason we have those, hints here if you've not already clocked it, is this Gameboy here. I'm hoping to try and make a Gameboy speedo for miles per hour. Let's just have a get out and have a look at what we've got. So this was just the Gameboy Pocket shell with all the various different bits. So we've got, you know, the buttons to go in, the screws, etc, etc. There's a few other bits and bobs in there. And what the plan is, they're never going to go back in there, are they? Also got the little sticker which will go on the battery. No, it's not the battery case, it's there, isn't it, I think, on the back. So I may still stick that there depending on how it all goes. But I wanted to look at as original as possible without cannibalising an actual Gameboy. Let's have a look what needs to stay in and what doesn't. So that metal bit looks like it can come out, which it may have to. But yeah, the ultimate idea is something along those kind of lines. So you have the speedo inside the Gameboy, it all kind of locked up. So essentially that, but looking much neater in there. So what I'm gonna do today, just keep that little screen as well, because obviously that'll go there and cover up everything that's in there. So I've got a cover on it. Deal with that anyway later. But I'm going to see, because this one's too big for the actual Gameboy Pocket. So what I might have a look at doing is seeing whether I can take this big one apart, use the innards and get it fitting all nicely in here so we can keep all this looking nice. If that fails, because as I say that's kind of a redundant one that wasn't there, is make sure that's the right way up, will be just put that one in there, then to cut up any bits that need to be cut up, because yeah, it doesn't all quite fit in there at the moment. It might do if I take that metal bit out actually. But yeah, I'm gonna get some small screwdrivers, have a little fiddle and a play, see what I can fit in where, see if I can take that one apart, see how that one fits in. And then if and when I need to do any cutting, I have got not a Dremel, but a knockoff range Dremel. So let me get my few bits, then we have a little look and a play, and I'll match it on time lapse and we can have a go from there. Just so if I can, let's say if I can move that metal bit out, which is where the cartridge kind of goes in down there on a normal Gameboy, that might actually allow enough space for that one to go in. And that kind of makes the whole that side of things slightly easier to do. So yeah, let's have a look at this. See what it right. So the screws are out. Speedo. I don't think it's going to quite work because of that top bit with the rotator knob. I think puts it into miles per hour or kilometers per hour, but let's just have a look and see. So let's do it that way around and see how close we aren't. Oh, we are very close. That's very close, you know. Obviously that will be glued in or something to stop that wobbling around too much, but yeah, I don't know if you can see that, it's not quite there, so I need to just knock a little bit out the top of there, so probably need to take just probably that bit in the middle out there out, which actually will be useful because that might allow you to get to that knob there. The other thing to work out is the power cord, because that's out the back. So I may end up having to drill a small hole, or Dremel a small hole in the back of there. So this is the bigger one that will not fit in. Again, it's the same sort of situation in the back. So you've got your power in, the bit for the bracket to hold in, and then you switch to the top, I guess, to go from miles per hour, whatnot. What I want to see, I don't know how well it will pick it up on there, but it looks as though there's my flat one. I don't know whether it's a seam or whether it's been glued, but I might have a look to see if I can get in there. If I can pull it apart, I can see what we're working with in terms of the entire screen and everything else on that front, and then whether there'd be a chance to dismantle that and then make something in here that would avoid the need to cut this up. So again, speed you up, see what I can find on the innards of this one. This can be a sacrificial one. Excuse the cat in the background doing whatever he's doing. But I've got that in, so let's see if I can wedge this apart and have a bit more of a look as to it's unclipping, which is what I wanted. This is a wedge of discovery for you and me both right here. Let's pop you open, shall we? Come on. Yes. That's that clip done. That's that clip done. Okay. Okay, that's not. So what you've got there, I don't know how much you can necessarily see, but you've got your screen there, which is basically just a series of holes, and then you've got your LED lights on there. So I don't think that's necessarily going to. Ooh, hang on a minute. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we've got that out. So that's all it is. So you've got your power. So you've got the circuit board. There's your toggle switch and your button, and then you've got your power in. And whatever else is gubbins is happening on that. So, will that, first of all, will that fit? Not completely, but looking at what we've got up there. So this is going to go into the lights, but bear with me. Hopefully it'll prove what point. There you go. You can sort of see how that works, the holes that are there. So we might lose the west and the east. Doesn't really matter, you're not using it as a compass anyway. We might still be able to keep the middle bit, so the speedo, miles per hour, kilometers per hour. Because that's, yeah, going back to what that is. So, will that involve, might involve cutting the circuit board, which, let me have a little look, and I'll come back and let you know what I've found. Okay, we've just got this lightly positioned in there at the moment. Again, I feel there might have to be a little bit of trimming, either, again, to the top of the backing plate, or the other one could be sort of the innards of where, I guess, the screen went on the original Game Boy. But I'm just going to position that loosely there for now. Then, does this sit on it? I mean, it fits and closes. So what I could do, this is very much thinking out loud, so bear with me, is I need to put the screen on the front, don't I? That's that'll be an issue. I don't know how well that'll cut up, but okay, so to cut that up I probably need a tape measure, but if I work out how much of this can go in there, so I can Dremel off that top bit, so that would fit at least flat in there. And we've got, I still think I might have to end up cutting this one up there, but let me get a measure, let me have a little bit of a fiddle and a play. I may even start getting the Dremel out and having a little look and working stuff out, but I'll cut back in. But this is promising. This is, yeah, definitely promising. So I'll check back in shortly. Right, so I'll probably wrap it up for tonight there, but as I say, the principle is there like that. Ooh, that almost fits perfectly. So there's a little bit more fettling to do, but we'll get there. And then, as I say, I'll probably do that another night. But progress is being made. Just want to make sure. I'll plug that in a minute and make sure that still works. So we'll do that, and then we can check in tomorrow or another day. Plug that in. Oh, there you go. There you go. You can see that's everything we've got in there. So that should all fit. Right, another day, another chance to do some more on the screen. What I'm going to hopefully try and do, sandpaper, sand that down, just rub that over on there to reduce the depth of that, so that hopefully that'll fit in the Gameboy better, so there'll be less I'll need to trim off the Gameboy case, because I don't really want to cut too much on that. So having fitted it all in, looks like I need to cut across here just to get a little bit more space for the back of the speedo screen. So it's the scary bit cutting into this, but I'll do a little bit along here, a little bit along there, as straight as I can, a little bit along there. I may get a pen and draw a line with a straight edge or something just to help with that. There's 2 bits left to trim. That bit there, which is for the switch bit, and then I need to trim around here for the power cable. So I might just drill that one out, and I can tidy it up, and I might do the same with that one. So I'll take another brave pill, crack on, and see how that all looks on the other side. Right, a bit more on this again, so I'm just going to look to try and sand down just a little bit along the top, a little bit along there, a little bit along there, just to get the back of the speedo to fit properly. So let's dive in, get that done, and see how it all fits together. So I've sanded off little bits on the inside, so there's a little tab there and there was a little tab that side. As you can see, sanded there, sanded along there, and now it will fit. So I'm going to test fit it with the screws, then I can work out where the hole needs to go for the plug socket, and then I can work out the bracket at the end, and then I can actually put it together and see what it looks like. So, come on. There we go. I've still got the buttons to put in, the screen bit around the front to put on, and the charge hole and wherever the bracket was going to go. But fundamentally, we're there. I'll check back in once I've done all the other bits and show you what it all looks like. So I've just used the glue. That's what it is. The glue where the backings to the buttons in and on to dribble a bit. That one at the top doesn't need anything, but those did, hopefully to keep them in place. So we'll let them dry, possibly overnight. Right, the next challenge for this is to drill the hole for this bit of cable to go in. It's around there, so I'll unbolt the back. I'll drill a small pilot hole, see how it lines up and work from there, I think. Right, so the hole is in the right place. I just need to make it bigger for the actual whole USB thing to go through, because at the moment it doesn't properly connect. So I'll go around it scientifically, obviously, and then we'll make sure that the hole will be big enough. So there we go. Hole's in about the right place, so I just need to screw it all back together. I'm on a private road, so don't worry about this, guys, but look, it works. Proof of concept right there. So I'm delighted with that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Check out more for seeing what this will go into.